What's up, everybody? I'm Johnny Highlander, and this is your weekly wrestling recap. So, a lot of interesting things have happened recently in the world of professional wrestling. Uh, the Royal Rumble just happened today. The previous night, we had NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, which frankly was epic. Uh, and we had New Beginning uh, for New Japan. We had New Beginning in Sapporo. And so we're just going to run down the top 10 most exciting things that are happening in wrestling today, especially in light of the Royal Rumble that just happened, NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, and what's been going on in New Japan. So in New Japan, we have the second winner of the IWGP US title, and it is none other than Jay White. He challenged Hiroshi Tanahashi. Man, there's so many names. It's hard to keep them all straight. But anyway, he challenged Hiroshi Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom 12, which was an amazing show. The match between Jericho and Omega was obviously a show stealer, but Jay White challenged for the IWGP Intercontinental title at Wrestle Kingdom 12, and he failed against Hiroshi Tanahashi, which I think is pretty appropriate. Jay White is unproven; he's an up-and-comer, but clearly New Japan sees a lot of potential in him, so they're setting him up for a big push. He has now won the IWGP United States title, becoming just the second IWGP United States champion after Kenny Omega won that tournament for the IWGP US title last year. So Kenny Omega was visibly disappointed to lose his US championship, but it was what happened after the match that was even more interesting. We've been seeing dissent in the Bullet Club, especially between Cody and Kenny Omega, and on their web series Being the Elite, they've been really pushing that angle, how Kenny Omega and Cody are just clashing. And after Kenny Omega's defeat there by Jay White, and where he lost the IWGP US title, uh, Cody came into the ring, and he was uh, dressing Kenny down, just kind of letting him know how much of a failure he was for losing the IWGP US title. The Young Bucks came in there to try and break things up. Kenny uh, pushed Matt Jackson, just gave him a hard shove, sent him flying across the ring, and I don't think we've ever seen that kind of dissent between the Bucks and Kenny Omega before, but we're seeing it now. So that was number one. Jay White wins the IWGP United States title. Number two, we're seeing dissent in the Bullet Club, but I think we all know that they're just preparing for the big angle between Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes at their 10,000 seat show they're doing September 1st. They've announced the date for it, and this Bullet Club show is not going to be attached to any wrestling promotions. The Bucks, Kenny Omega, Cody, the Bullet Club, they're doing this themselves because Dave Meltzer said, I've never seen these guys fill out a 10,000 seat arena. I don't think they could do it. Cody took it as a challenge, which props to Cody for that. And so he rented an arena, and they've set a date, September 1st, and it's going to be called All In. And so far, the names we've got are Stephen Amell, uh, Cody, Kenny, the Bucks, Page, Adam Page, and Marty Scurll. I think that's it. I think those are the only ones we have announced, but I know it's going to be a good card, and I'm definitely going. I'm going to be there September 1st. So, as far as NXT TakeOver Philadelphia goes, this show was stacked. Man, it was so good. First, we had the Authors of Pain versus the Undisputed Era, and this match was just fantastic. Fortunately, this is number three. Fortunately, the Undisputed Era retained, which I think is completely the right choice. The Undisputed Era are being pushed. They should be pushed. They shouldn't take their aura. They shouldn't take their mystique yet. They should continue to be pushed. And the second match of the night was, I think it was Velveteen Dream versus Chris Hero, which was cool. It was cool to see Chris Hero in action. But it's clear that the WWE or NXT doesn't have much faith in Chris Hero. So the third match was, I think it was Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title, which was just a fantastic match. Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler put on a great show. But the fourth match of the night was Adam Cole versus Aleister Black in a no holds barred match, and man, it was nuts. Okay, these guys pulled out all the stops. There were tables, there were chairs, there were kendo sticks, there were garbage cans getting smashed. Seeing Adam Cole and Aleister Black go at it reminds people why they watch professional wrestling, for the spectacle of it, for the storytelling. The storytelling between Adam Cole and Aleister Black was quite commendable. So I was really excited to see that match between Aleister Black and Adam Cole. Next night, Adam Cole debuted on the main roster. He was one of two NXT superstars to come out in the Royal Rumble. Him and Andrade Cien Almas, who is the current NXT champion. So Adam Cole and the NXT champion were the only two men's NXT stars to show up on the main roster for the Royal Rumble. So pretty high praise. I think WWE has a lot of faith in Adam Cole, which I've said this all along. So I'm glad to see Adam Cole being successful, even though he lost the match against Aleister Black. I don't think anybody saw it negatively for Adam Cole. Everybody thought it was just a fantastic match. There really wasn't a loser because the match was so good, even though Aleister Black was the actual winner. So the last match of the night on TakeOver Philadelphia was Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship. And personally, I thought Johnny Gargano was going to win, and I thought it was the right time for Johnny Gargano to win. I think he's the most over baby face on NXT that they have, and in fact, the most over baby face in the entire WWE. Johnny Gargano, the most pure baby face that they have. And I thought it was a good time for him to win, but I guess WWE wants to continue to build up the story. Props to them, I guess, for long-term booking. A lot of times we criticize the WWE for not doing long-term booking, but clearly they've got some long-term booking planned here with Johnny Gargano, and I guess props to them for that. After Gargano lost the match to Cien Almas, who obviously retained the championship, which was just an epic match. It was amazing. Zelina Vega was getting involved. She hit Gargano with a Hurricane Rana, and then Gargano's real-life wife, Candice LeRae, who's recently been signed by the WWE, came in and fought off Zelina Vega, which was a cool bit of storytelling to see. Makes it more real. It was nice to see. But after Gargano lost, he was walking back up the ramp, and who should come out? Well, Johnny Gargano is all beat up from the match with Cien Almas, and he gets cracked in the back with a crutch by Tommaso Ciampa, his ex-tag team partner from #DIY. And clearly they're setting up the rematch between Ciampa and Gargano, which I know a lot of people are excited for, and I know it'll be a good match. But personally, I just wanted to see Gargano win the championship. I thought it was time. I didn't think Cien Almas was ever even planned to win the championship. I thought that happened because Drew McIntyre tore his bicep, so they had to put the championship on Almas. But I guess now they're just running with it. It'll just be that much sweeter when Gargano finally does actually win the championship. And I'm super excited to that. We also got to see EC3 and Ricochet revealed to be signed with the WWE. Probably they're both going to be in NXT, both EC3 and Ricochet, and I just cannot wait to see the show that Ricochet is going to be able to put on for us. Ricochet is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and this is just fantastic for the WWE. And I'm glad to see Ricochet in the biggest wrestling promotion in the United States. A little bit of outside the WWE news. Evan Bourne, also known as Matt Sydal, when he was in WWE, I thought he was great. He was one of my favorite Evan Bourne. Evan Air Bourne. Matt Sydal, he has recently won the Impact Wrestling Grand Championship. And congratulations to Matt Sydal for being recognized and getting that NXT, that Impact, I should say, that Impact Grand Championship. Good for Matt Sydal. During the Men's Royal Rumble, which happened the next night after NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, we got to see Dolph Ziggler's return, which is fantastic. Ziggler is definitely one of my favorite wrestlers, and inevitably he is going to feud with Bobby Roode for the U.S. title that he vacated. So I'm excited to see that match between Roode and Ziggler. Uh, as I mentioned, Ember Moon and Baszler put on a fantastic match. AJ Styles was in a triple threat match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. He retained the championship. I'm glad to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in main event feud fighting for the WWE Championship. That's where they deserve to be. They're great wrestlers. I say this all the time. But AJ Styles retained, which is great, I guess. We probably didn't need a co WWE Championship between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And then the match that was supposed to be Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar was turned into a triple threat match between Braun Strowman, Kane, and Brock Lesnar. Lesnar retained his championship in this. It was nothing we haven't seen before. And then finally in the men's Royal Rumble, we got to see Shinsuke Nakamura win. We only had two returns, which was Rey Mysterio and Hurricane Helms. And Shinsuke Nakamura won, which I just thought was fantastic. Shinsuke Nakamura can definitely carry the company into the future. But we really didn't have many big returns in the men's Royal Rumble. In the women's Royal Rumble, there was just a multitude of returns. We got to see Lita, Michelle McCool, Tori Wilson, Kelly Kelly, Molly Holly, Beth Phoenix, the Bellas, Jacqueline, Vicky Guerrero, Trish Stratus. Plus, we got to see the debut of Kairi Sane and Ember Moon on the main roster, which was just so great. So that's just a little bit of what's been going on in wrestling today. I'm Johnny Heinlander. This has been your weekly wrestling recap, and I'll see you guys later.